it's April the 24th, 2012. We're in Columbia, the capital of South Carolina, in the building, in the Rotunda building, state building. We see a lot of people wearing shorts with H4894, school choice. We try to find out what is going around here. Joe is, Mr. Joe Dugan is the chairman of the Myrtle Beach Tea Party. He's also the state coordinator for the Tea Party Patriots. Mr. Dugan is very involved, even if he's not a politician. He's so involved in the politics of this state. I would rather have Mr. Joe Dugan listen to Mr. Joe Dugan than listen to any politician around here. Now, reading in the last reports, we've seen that the education in South Carolina rates among the latest in the 50 states of the United States. I don't want to say 57 states because we might include that 57 statement in our curriculum. But let's stick with the 50 states. Why do you think the education in South Carolina is so important?
Well, it's so important because our economy is in much worse shape than some other states where they have industrial jobs and technical jobs. If we want to attract those jobs to South Carolina, as we did with Boeing, we're going to have an educated workforce that is ready to fill those positions to entice companies to move to South Carolina.
One thing I don't understand is that school choice is one of the talking points of the Republican Party. Now, Mr. Hughes Leatherman, the chairman of the Finance Committee, is a Republican. Why do we have so much trouble, asking him to no longer vote for the school choice? Why it's such a big problem?
Well, Senator Leatherman has been in the Senate for a very long time. Sometimes when you're in a job or a position for a great deal of time, you think of the old ways of doing things, and you don't always recognize the differences in the attitude of your constituents. The constituency of South Carolina sees that we are living in an age of technological change, and that not every student is prepared to go to college. And what we need to do is to provide an alternate route for those students to take, so that they can learn trades and learn to be electrical.
That reminds me of an article I read a couple of days ago, which says that about 15 to 70% of the college graduates do not find a job. The only job they found it is a barman and just a non-paying job. They spend tens of thousands of dollars in college and still they do not find a job. Is that maybe possible because people do not choose anymore the technical jobs to become mechanical engineers, doctors, things like that? They decide to go in art, science.
That is part of it, but only a part. One of the biggest problems perhaps today in everyone finding jobs is the burdensome regulations that the federal government has put on businesses. And it's like a direct attack on small and medium businesses. They'll deal with the larger businesses and give them favors because they support them in their campaign contributions. But the smaller businessman is left out in the cold. He's got to abide by all these regulations, and the EPA has gone wild on steroids, and there's nobody exercising any reason within that organization.
Yeah, on the other hand, we find out that in North Dakota, the unemployment is about 3.5%. They have thousands of jobs to be fulfilled, and they still do not have the minimum skilled people. Why? Because instead to go to these technical colleges, they go to art, flower, all kind of non-essential jobs.
North Dakota has a distinct advantage over other states. Since this administration came into power, it has done everything within its power to stifle our energy independence. North Dakota is very fortunate in that there is a tremendous amount of oil and natural gas below their soil, and it's not federal land, so they are able to explore for that, and that has brought great prosperity to North Dakota and some of the other states in that region. We need to open up drilling for oil and natural gas through modern technical methods such as horizontal drilling and fracking, and we could become energy independent within a few years. If we remove the restrictions that are placed in the way for these restrictions drillers to go to work, where they have to wait for a piece of paper to be handled through an entire bureaucracy, each with waiting periods of 4 to 6 months, we could be energy independent within a few years.
Yeah, there are many things to be corrected in this.
Right, and if we are energy independent, that would reduce a tremendous burden in our borrowing from China. What we're doing is we are borrowing money, 42 cents out of every dollar that's spent, and we're placing the burden of repaying that on our children and grandchildren. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You have heard Mr. Joe Dugan.